Welcome to Bruce Tracy Photography. Tonight we are going to be going for the most minimalistic astrophotography setup you can possibly do. There are nights like tonight. Tonight's going to be a dark sky night. There's no clouds, there's no wind, there's no moon. It says I need to get out there and do some astrophotography. But I'm not really in the mood to drag my heavy telescope out there. I don't want to get the computer set up, the guide scope set up, PhD 2 running on the computer. I don't want to do it all. I'm in a little bit of a lazy mood, but I still want to get something in space. So what I'm going to share with you today is my minimalistic astrophotography setup. And it starts with this guy right here. This is the Move, Shoot, Move tracker. It's just the box here. I got a ball head on top, but just this box right here, that's the tracker. It weighs maybe 1.5 pounds, incredibly light. This would be a great option if you're traveling and you want to take some astrophotography while you're on a vacation, or even the Milky Way. It's a great Milky Way tracker. So this is what we're going to use tonight. I've never used it for a deep sky object. I only use it for Milky Way photography, but tonight we're going to try something new. We're going to go after the North America Nebula. It's right over my house right now. It's in the Cygnus constellation, and it's pretty much in the sky all night long. So here's my goal. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to use this thing for about 2.5 to 3 hours. We're going to see if we can make this work. If I can get something decent out of this, I think I'm onto something new. For those nights when I just don't want to put in the effort, I've got this great simplified setup. Also, here's what else I'll be using. I've got my modified Canon 60D right here. This will be the camera I'm using, and I've got an incredibly cheap lens. This thing here is an old EFS 18-135, and I'm going to be honest, I've never used this lens for anything. I think it was the kit lens that came with this camera when I originally bought it. But I'm going to see if I can get this thing out to 135, tape it down. That comes out to 216 millimeters, I think, on the crop sensor. So we'll be shooting at 216 millimeters tonight with a very cheap lens. Let's face it, if you want to get into astrophotography, there is no cheaper setup than this. I think that the Move, Shoot, Move, I want to say it was about $250 on Amazon. The ball mount that I'm using here is probably 25 bucks. And then a tripod. Use any DSLR camera that you already have and you're set to go. Of course, I'm telling you that before I've seen if it can work. If this works, that would be the most minimalistic and the cheapest possible astrophotography setup you can use. Let's head off back and see what we can do with this. Well, here it is, the world's easiest setup. This took me all of 5 minutes. I got the camera up here on top, connected to a ball head, which is connected to the Move, Shoot, Move tracker on top of my tripod. That's it. This is the whole setup. Now, to pull or align this is really easy as well. You just take a laser pointer or a red dot finder and you stick it right here on the side of the tracker and you point it right up in the night sky and direct it right at the North Star. And that's it. That's all you've got to do for this. I'm only going to take 30-second subs because I'm not sure how good the tracking is going to be because I'm not doing auto guiding. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm thinking this is going to work pretty good. I've used it for the Milky Way and it's incredible. For Milky Way photos, you can't beat this thing. So we're going to go ahead and shoot this tonight and I'll take you inside to see what we got. Okay, we are back inside and I was able to capture 300 light frames. These were each 30 seconds apiece, so that's 2.5 hours of light frames that I was able to capture. I don't know if that's going to be enough for this target, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and process it. I was also able to get 15 dark frames and 15 flat frames, so we're going to bring all of that in when I process it. What I want to do right now, though, is just open one of these subs. This is a 30-second sub. And you can see that I really had some good focus. Very sharp stars. For a camera like this, and the camera's great, but the lens, a cheap lens, this is a really good looking sub right here. If you look closely, you can see the North American Nebula right in this center area here, which is perfect. We're going to bring that out. We're going to see what we can do with it by processing. But I'm pretty hopeful. Just by looking at the sub here, I'm really impressed with the quality I was able to get with the Move, Shoot, Move tracker and just a regular old DSLR camera and a pretty cheap lens on top. And again, I shot this at 135 millimeters. With the Canon, that comes out to 216 millimeters because it's a 1.6 crop factor on that. So this image you're looking at right here is at 216 millimeters. I'm going to run it through all of the processing and I'm going to show you my final result. Here's what we came up with.